He writes, as in the transmission of the secrets of an art. So talking about transmissions from teacher to student, which has been around for generations. As a pair of practitioners journey together, not just you and I or the teachers, but you and your fellow partners, we're all going through this together. We're going up the same mountain. So as you journey together, we must strive to tune into each other's transmissions. Transmissions, again, meaning teachings. And that's just not what's verbally given, what's omote, but what's ura. You have to understand when your friend's in a good mood or not, how to help them during the day. If you see they're having a bad day, how can you go over and pat them on the back or help them out if their car breaks down or something? But mentally, too, taking care of each other is uke. Understanding each other's wavelengths. If you are able to pick up on these wavelengths, then this becomes a harmony with the tradition of polishing the heart. What does that mean? It's how to develop a stainless heart, how to become a tatsujin. Our goal as martial artists is not to win a tournament or a trophy or to look strong. It's to become that which we've always wanted to be. And I don't mean that in a fantasy way. I mean literally becoming the person I've always wanted to be, a fully actualized human being. I start and I want to get to the top of the mountain as best I can. I do that not by myself. I can't. I have people around me to help me. It's a team effort. Takamatsu sensei often said, the heart of the Budoka, the warrior, is important. The heart is important. Hatsumi's saying, I still hold that determination dear to my heart, even in the present days of my teaching, meaning decades later, he's still as passionate as he was when he started. For the purpose of maintaining the wavelength, passing through the student-teacher relationship and people of the future. So he's saying not just you and I, but we train for the next generation. Not a selfishness, but a selflessness. Our goal is, if we stick with it, we will have our own school one day. We will get our own students one day and pass the tradition down. In the old days, it was passed down from father to son, uncle to nephew, and on the rare occasion, father to daughter, perhaps. That's all gone, that stigma. We can pass it to anyone who's willing to come through that door. Doesn't have to be a relation. You don't have to have kids in order to be a great father figure or mother figure to someone. So this transition that we're doing every Wednesday night when we come in and learn these old katas, we are taking what has been given. We are standing not only on the shoulders of giants, but on the shoulders of the shoulders of the shoulders of giants. And we have a huge responsibility to learn this as best we can and not to quit when times get tough, because they get tough for all of us. Everyone has wanted to quit. But how can I pass on the transmission if I turn my radio off? Think of a radio wave, right? How can you receive it if you turn your radio off, which is quitting? You have to keep tuned in to the dojo at all times. Yes, there'll be times we get sick, we go home, we get injured, you move away, but you have to stay in tune with the training. It does no good to just read a book. You have to actually take these techniques and bring them to life and study them and rip them apart and be skeptical and all that. So tonight we're working in the school called Takagi Yoshin Ryu, which is the Raised Heart, perfect name, Raised Heart School, or raising our heart up. High tree school, so you could think of that as a high willow tree. An oak tree, which is tall, is very brittle and can break easily in the wind, but a willow tree will bend, right? If you've ever seen a willow tree in the south, they bend to the wind. We need to be a willow tree. Person comes in and attacks. Yes, you can fight them with brute strength, which you have in your early teens and 20s, even your 30s, maybe even your 40s, but it starts to do this. But can you be the willow tree that doesn't rely on brute strength? He or she relies on intelligence and the wisdom of the old forefathers. So, in my opinion, the willow beats the oak most of the time. However, a willow can also come down easily, can't it? Because the roots are usually, you know what I mean, in soft mud. A willow tree's roots can easily be toppled. So you have to dig your roots. Well, where do we get the roots? from our ancestors. I don't have the roots myself. I go stand on the shoulders of giants. So Hatsumi, Takamatsu, Toda Sensei, all these guys have brought us this knowledge. And I'm transitioning it to you now, and you'll transition it to your students one day, okay? So tonight we're going to do a kata called Ransho. You know it. It has a lot of good stuff in it. A lot of good kaname, which are principles. So we're going to start with a classical version, and then we're going to change it, because the classical version almost never works out on the street. It's designed against a battlefield armored opponent. But it doesn't mean it's ineffective. We just have to change it to the 21st century. Are you ready to start? Attacker who wants to kill me. The distance in the old days is here. We might have weapons, maybe not. The only way for him to get to me, if we're in armor, be in armor, is he needs to lunge in and give me a strike hard enough to knock me over so he can kill me with his sword or his tanto. As he does that from here, I absorb back with footwork. Everyone do this with me. Start in Shizen, tie here. On the balls of your feet, heavy yet light. Don't move until the fist almost hits you. Here, and move back. A light absorption. Don't hit hard, it changes the kata. In this kata, you're not smashing his arm, you are absorbing and fitting in. Here, lightly, just enough. In armor, everything is slower, so it's not like a boxer. A boxer I wouldn't use this kata with. This is an armored attack, because I know he's going to come with the left in a second. But before that happens, here, I move in from this position, and I grab his arm and strike up with a boshi ken to his throat. Boshi is the thumb drive here. So I absorb one and I strike up here. By hitting up quickly, it takes us out of play for a split second. And then from that position, I just move here and I clear him to the ground, moving here. Snapping his arm right in this position. 1, 2, 3, and he's down. Different angle. On line here. 1, 2, extend him out. Like Osotogake, push him, push his spine back. Pull this to your pocket here. If you want to turn from here, here's a nice finish. Come over here. As he falls to his back, I rotate this in omote. Foot is under him, pushing your knee forward and pulling this back to snap his elbow. If you wait more than 2 seconds, he'll get out of it. So it's the shock of him falling. As he falls, boom, I turn and break it with no hesitation. One more. 1, 2, 3. He goes down from here, turning, snapping. Can you do that? Just light touch here. Striking or taisho ken, either one. Push. If you can, catch their wrist. Rotate it. All your weight's on your left leg. Keep them pushed. Step. By now they're off balance. Turn to the left slightly in a rotation. They should fall right down. Try that out. So if we go to the text here in the book, I need 2 people to demonstrate that are willing to do that. Standing waza, meaning standing technique. So you both in Shizen. Opponent comes in with a right strike to the face, don't move yet. Take a step back with your right leg, dropping the koshi, which is the hips. Koshi's the hips, the lower back, all that. So do that and stop right there when he comes in. Block with the left arm, although not too hard. With the right hand, strike the sagasumi, which is under the jaw. Now it says you can do a boshi, but you can do any strike you want. Shikan ken, taisho ken, shako ken, punch. The whole point is he has a kabuto helmet. Both of them might have helmets. The helmet comes down like Darth Vader, and then it has the mempo mask, and it hangs here. The only way in is under these shutters here, under the throat. Everything else is protected. So he has to come from underneath with this hand, and strike to push his head back, breaking the balance of the opponent. And then you're stepping in with your right leg as in no sotogake, rotating him around the axis. There. That's it. When you think about it, it's not really a hard technique if you break their spinal balance. If you can get them here, then you're good to go. Now, in a minute, we're going to make it modern and resist it and stuff, but for now, that's the kata, okay? I want you to try with the taisho ken, meaning when he attacks from here, I want you to go one, and I want you, instead of this, I think that can slip and come off easily. I want you to, from your pocket here, come up with one of these. I think this is more reliable, larger surface area. Then as I continue this action of pushing forward, his balance is broken, and I just step into the kukan I've created. That's it. Again, faster please. 1, 2. See how they fly off of you? Thank you, sir. They just go right forward. Joel's here, student of the month. Quick. See this action here of taking the spine. Everything else is easy. Try it.
The back of your hands, do they ever use the armor to hit?
Yes. The kote armor goes from the hand, the te, across the wrist, the takobi, all the way up here. So the idea is to have the steel plate. So if you're hitting me with whatever, if you give me a punch from here, absolutely I can use this armor to deflect. Or if you hit wherever, I can hit down as well. All this works. Usually unprotected here, or light chainmail or some sort of cloth. So absolutely would use this. And it would deflect swords, perhaps a spear, many things. So yes, use your armor not just for defense, but for offensive purposes as well. Can you imagine a plate armor here, and you hit me, and I do this, and I just take my plate and do this? Boom!
Yeah.
If you didn't have a helmet, wreck your face. So, yes is the answer. Good question. In a modern fight, we're fighting modern. Tell me if you've ever seen someone do this. Fuck punk. You ever seen anyone do that?
No, sir.
How about this? Yes?
No, sir.
Never.
No, sir.
So why do we practice a martial art that teaches that?
Motor memory.
What?
Motor memory.
Yes, developing muscle memory. The bigger you make it, when it becomes small and modern, it'll be better and more powerful. By doing this, we are learning how to use the entire body as one unit with power. Using your legs. Remember, the good punch starts from the feet. Yes, this stuff hurts, but see how I'm always using my foot with it? Versus just this. I mean, it can work, but it's got power, but it doesn't have anywhere near the power as when your foot comes with it. So a modern fighter, do the classical attack. Yeah, that's just not going to work easily. We're close here. He's this close, hitting me there, and he's coming with the second and the third and shooting in. So how do I make this Ransho work modern? I just changed the timing and the space. The kata's the same. I'm here. I'm absorbing his attack. Just enough. Just enough. Just enough. I moved from the danger zone to the center. Obviously, I know he's coming with that next. So I attack before the second shot. So it's one here. 1, 2, 3. I already have him here before the second punch. You have to be ready. It's a fight. So it's not one, yeah. It's 1, 2. Now, why did I use my arm? It says shuto or boshi to the asagasumi.
He's not wearing a helmet. He doesn't.
You have to break the rule to survive. The scroll is nothing more than a foundation. I need to use my, we're so close. Can you see how close we are? There's no room for error. I can't do this. There's no time. So it's 1, I hit him, but I didn't use the classical version. Shouldn't matter. 2 punches. 1. That's modern Ransho. Did you see it? He's tough. It's not this. It's 1, 2. How did I do that was different? I went faster and changed my time. So let's work on that. Here it is. You're actually going to move into him, toward him. This represents this. Armour, modern. Use your elbows. Elbows here. His balance is already compromised. By moving here, I'm away from his left. Hug it for your life. Distract. If you're shorter, use your arm. Use your body. Taijutsu. Pull him low. Create a space. Step into it. He'll go down from here. Watch his posture. No muscle. Could elbow if you're big enough. As he comes with the other one, oh, I fit into that space and that time. Then I can hit. Are you ready? Do it without hurting yourself. Okay, have fun. With a weapon, now we're real modern. He's got a pipe. As he hits me, I'm not going to be where he was. Again, go faster. Trust me. Just going to move. I can't fight that. Well, how do I know what trajectory it's going to take? Just by experience, nothing more. Just move this ankle. Yeah. What's he going to do? Retract. So I want to get hit on the second. So if I move, he's going to retract and hit me again. Average person will do this. They'll get hit in the first and the second and the third because they don't train. They've read too many books. As he comes in with a second, I move in here. Take advantage of it. Did you see the timing?
Yes, sir.
Don't wait for Mr. Springer to get beyond the 50% point. I'll be doomed. I have to get him when he's here. If he gets here, you better be quick on your feet. Or have a good doctor. Faster. Yeah, here. That's it in an applicable way, 21st century. Again, he's swinging faster. See the motion. See how I'm moving in. He's creating a dead zone. Yo! Here. This is it in full form. Try that out with one of these. Go.
Maybe a little too far.
Yeah.
Oh, you're nice. That was awesome. Unlike our normal techniques where we turn to look, I'm not going to do that. When I get grabbed and he pulls me, I'm going to slam that elbow right into his face. Continue the elbow as this hand comes up and slam him down.